Hey y'all, happy Thursday. Sun's shining today, and they say we're supposed to start getting snow in just a few hours. I'm not looking forward to that. I don't know what to do. I'm not had to prepare a house for cold weather, but I think I got it all done and all ready, and got heaters in the bathrooms and stuff like that. So I think it'll all go well. I'm trusting God to get me through the storm, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. How much do we trust? Yes, we have to take steps in the physical sometimes to do things, but in the spiritual storms of our life, how much do we trust God? Some days it's really difficult. Some days it's really, really difficult. Other days it's really easy. You don't ever know what that day's going to bring, but then when you get up and you get moving and you start feeling feelings of, angst or whatever you want to call it, that's when you need to stop and say, Lord, help me, don't let this overtake me today. Help me to be strong in you and know, Lord, that you are who you say you are, and I am who you say I am. So in Luke chapter 8, in verse 22, excuse me, I have been fighting this. I don't feel bad. I just have this craziness in my throat and my voice. One day Jesus said to the disciples, "Let's cross over to the other side of the lake." So they got into a boat and started out. On the way across, Jesus laid down for a nap. I can only imagine that Jesus had to get rest whenever he could, because he was constantly surrounded by people needing something from him, wanting something from him. He knows what it feels like. Although he's never been a mother, and don't take this the wrong way, but he knows what moms feel like, because somebody always needed him. And as mothers, young mothers especially, somebody is always needing something. They're always touching you. They're always needing. They're always this. They're always. And Jesus understood that. So I can only imagine that anytime he had a chance to lay down and take a nap, he took that opportunity. And while he was sleeping, the wind began to rise. A fierce storm developed that threatened to swamp them, and they were in real danger. When we lived in Guam, I can remember that it would be absolutely a stunning, beautiful, glorious day, and then all of a sudden we were in a storm. We lived on base, and if there was anybody living on base, they give you a sponsor, and if a typhoon was coming, you had to go to your sponsor's house and stay. And we had to do that one time, I think, when we lived there. We lived there for 2 years. But we had people come to our house that we didn't really know, but because they couldn't live off base because they were Air Force personnel, so they need to be on base during that time so everybody could be accounted for. Because typhoons were not fun. It was crazy. We went through one, like I said, and it wasn't a major one, but it was pretty bad. The water was pouring in underneath our lanai door, and it was crazy. But so storms can come up just like that. They can just, it looks great, and then all of a sudden you're treading water. The disciples woke him up shouting, "Master, Master, we're going to drown." So Jesus rebuked the wind and the raging waves. The storm stopped, and all was calm. Just like that. He rebuked the winds, he rebuked the waves, and the storm stopped. Then he asked them, "Where is your faith?" That's a hard question. When we look at this, that's a hard question that we have to answer daily sometimes. Where is your faith? You have that capability. You have the capability to do that. I was sent this morning from someone, which I'm so thankful that they thought of me. But in Luke 10:19, it says, "Behold, I give you the authority to trample serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you." He gave us that power. That's what he's asking them. Where is your faith? You have the faith. And they were filled with awe and amazement. They said to one another, "Who is this man that even the winds and the waves obey him?" Where's their faith? They had been walking with Jesus. They had seen him do so many things. And yet he calms the storm and they're still in amazement. And I'm not saying that when something happens and I'm like, oh wow, Jesus really did that. Because sometimes we just get so overwhelmed with our issues and our problems that we forget that we have the power to speak life back into our situation, to speak life back into whatever it may be. But we also have to understand, just because we want something and we want somebody to change, we don't have the power to speak change into their life. We don't have that power. Each person has free will, and only God can talk to them and try to change them. But if they don't want to hear it, and if they don't, they're not going to. You can't change a person. You can't tell God to change that person. You can pray for that person and pray that they will see the issues that are going on, or pray that they will be obedient to the Lord when he corrects them or whatever. But you can't just say, God, you have to change that person. You have to. The situation's never going to get better. Sometimes it's us that needs to be changed. Sometimes we're not looking at the situation right, and the Lord says, maybe you need to look at it different. Maybe you need to realize this isn't where God would have me. That's a hard realization sometimes. And walking away from situations is very difficult. Sometimes walking away from a job that you've been at for a long time, but realizing that the way that the management is taking that company or whatever it is isn't something that you would be proud of. And you make that decision to leave. That's hard sometimes, especially when you've put all you have into it. Sometimes he's asking us to step out of that box and say, okay, Lord, that's not where you would have me. Where do you want me to go? Where do you want me to be? Give me the power over my doubts and my fears and my worries. He's already given you that power. Help me to trample those things. The disciples walked with him daily and saw things. We didn't get to see those miracles. We didn't get to see the things that he did. We get to read about him. I've seen many miracles in my life, and every day's a miracle. Because the way the world is today, every day is a miracle. Every day is a miracle. We just need to start looking around and seeing the good that he is doing in our lives. The disciples woke him up shouting, Master, Master, we're going to drown. How many times do we shout that? Master, Master, I'm going to drown. As I was getting ready on Tuesday, I believe it was, some intrusive thoughts started coming into my head, and I just stopped. And I said, Jesus, help me. Don't let these thoughts have captive over me today. Help me to take these thoughts captive and not allow them to reign in my head today. And he did just that. He helped me throughout that day not let those intrusive thoughts take me captive. He gives us the ability to handle the things that we face on a daily basis. Sometimes it's just taking a moment to pause and say, Lord, help. Lord, help. Because sometimes we don't know what to do. Sometimes there's not there's not a win, there's not a way, there's just something that isn't jiving with us that day or isn't feeling right that day. And sometimes it's just stopping and saying, Lord, help. Guide me. Give me the strength that I need. My faith is in you, and I trust you in however this day turns out. He is there, just like he was there for them. Even though he was asleep, he was still with them. And he rose and he rebuked the wind, he rebuked the waves, and the storm stopped and all was calm. And sometimes he's not going to... Sorry, the phone's ringing. Sometimes he's not going to calm the storm. He's going to calm you to be able to walk through the storm. He already saw this storm coming. He already saw what was going to happen. He already saw all of that. He's just waiting to calm you and you allow him in and give him the authority to calm you. But you have all that he has given us, all the power that he has given us. We have the authority to speak over those things. Sometimes we just get so weak that we can't. So just know that he's still with us every single day. He sent the Holy Spirit. He's with us every single day. He loves us, and he wants us to take command over the things that are giving us struggles. And just remember, he is worthy of our faith. He is worthy of the trust that we have in him. We had a great group of youth and kids last night. Man, we had a lot of kids. I think there were 17 children in children's church, or children, and then 24 maybe or more in youth. So we had a lot of kids here last night, and Chris cooked chicken nuggets, mashed potatoes, gravy, corn, rolls, and monster cookies, and it was great. Everybody got full. Everybody enjoyed it, and it was a great time. And I'm just so thankful for those that are willing to give of their time. Brother Mark Jackson, Brother Mark Brown, Brother Travis Watkins for driving the bus. Sister Judy and Chris were in the kitchen. Billy Green, Jeff Etheridge, Will Campbell, James Varnell, all on the security, and James Varnell was checking kids in, and then Zach was here last night, it's always good to have Zach, but I'm also so proud of what he's doing. He's going through and becoming, I'm not really sure exactly what he's going to end up, but he's in paramedic training or advanced paramedic training, or I don't know where he's at in that, but I'm so proud of him for what he's doing there. Tomorrow night, the fellowship at Gordon and D. Kennard's will begin at 5:30. Yes, the weather could potentially play into that. I will try to post on Crossroads Community Church Facebook page if it is canceled. The same with Sunday morning. It looks like they've upped our chances of snow Sunday into like the 5-inch range. I don't like snow, y'all. I don't like it. So there is a possibility that there may be a cancellation there because the wind chill, I think it's only supposed to be 12 degrees. I don't know. I'm not sure. That's the last one I looked at. That's what it said. But the wind chill is supposed to be in the negative. So, ladies, we most likely will not meet Sunday night because it will be way too frigid. And if we have that much snow, we definitely won't meet. But it'll only be here for a little bit. That's what I keep telling myself. It's just for a little while. The sun will come out again, and it'll shine, and it'll melt it all off, and everything will be great again. Until it comes the next time. But I'm not a fan of snow. So, then we have a concealed carry class on January the 20th. It will begin at 8 a.m. in the multipurpose building. You will do all your classroom work there and then go down to the range. You'll need 50 rounds of ammo. If you do not have a gun but would like to take the class, guns will be available. We will have some here that you can use for that. The cost is $60. If you cannot afford that but really want to take that class, we'll work something out with you. So be weather aware. Get those pipes wrapped. If you have pipes that are exposed, get those wrapped and all of that. I know Billy went this morning and got our well house here at the church taken care of, and the toddler room has some plumbing underneath that is, and he put the heat tape on it, got it all plugged in, got it ready to go. So very thankful for him for doing that for the church. Just stay aware of what, keep your eye on the weather, and be safe. If you have to get out, do it today. I know Walmart's probably saying, no, don't tell everybody to come today, but if you have to get out, go do it today. And then be ready to be in the house for a few days, because it's going to be cold. It's going to be bitter cold. I have a friend that they live in North Dakota, and their wind chill's like in the negative, like to like 50. I'm like, that's bad. Can't imagine that. So just be safe. Enjoy this weather if you like it. Be prepared though. I hope to be back on tomorrow. It just depends on the weather. So I hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine today, because tomorrow is probably not going to look like this. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.